Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, E-double-L. I said so, I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Bledsoe. Ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it, I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Had some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge, take the door off your bins, pop up my four of your friends, man, please. This shit ain't cynical, man, no subliminal. I'm physical, financial, and mental to be a general. Hey, lil' mama claims she want a soldier, not the type be in the tank, but in that Rover. Man, please, I'm in the zone like AIDS full blown. I'm killing it like a blind man reading. I'm feeling it like, oh yeah. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, he think he got her when he knew he soft his butter. He ain't never been a fighter. You can go and ask his mother. I'm a lover and a fighter, producer and a writer. Give your girl a quick fix and give your man a nice shiner. You know y'all don't really want it, and I can tell just by looking at you that you the type to run and go and tell just by looking at you. You on a mission for recognition by dissing. Didn't have no problem till the record started breaking, but y'all don't really want it. So let me tell you the deal. I'm also serious, I'm dirty, I'm no longer for real. I'm like a hop, skip, and a jump, a clock grip on the pump. From leaving you in the trunk, somewhere prepared to dump. But y'all don't really want it, so quit acting like you're deaf. I'm looking to my right, trying to see who's left. So you better watch it before I stick to the plan and be the next artist to run up in your stand. Like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it, man, y'all don't really want it, don't really want it, y'all don't really want it with me. I know you shook, man. You ain't built for a skirt as a nigga can be. It's gon' sound like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming for ya. It's gon' sound like when I'm coming, like when I'm coming, like when I come for ya. It's gon' sound like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, oh, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it now. Right.
I'll be the last one standing, 2 hands in the air, I'm a champion. You'll be looking up at me when it's over. I live for the battle, I'm a soldier. Yeah, I'm a fighter like Rocky. Put your flag on your back like Ali. Yeah, I'm the greatest, I'm stronger. Bet my dues, can't lose, I'ma own ya. Hey, I've been working my whole life, and now it's do or die. I am invincible. go ahead and put your bets on me. Hey, I've been waiting my whole life to see my name in lights. I am invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You're gonna know my name. You can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this. Yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion.
Born champion. The C is for the courage I possess through the drama. H is for the hurt, but it's all for the honor. A is for my attitude, working through the patience. Money comes and goes, the M is for motivation. Gotta stay consistent, the P is to persevere. The I is for integrity, innovative career. The O is optimistic, open and never shut. And the N is necessary, cause I'm never giving up. See, they ask me how I did it, I just did it from the heart. Crushing the competition, been doing it from the start. They say that every champion is all about his principles. Carry.
I am invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You're gonna know my name. You can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this. Yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion.
Yeah. Surpassed all rivals. It's all about who wants it the most. Fight for what we believe in. That's what champions are made of. Yeah. Champion.
It's going down, I'm on fire. I'm definitely in my zone, fire in my bones, so best believe it's on. Sweat and tears, I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing, I'm on fire.
Ain't nobody putting in the work that I put in, I shut it down.
Blood, sweat, and tears, I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing, I'm definitely in my zone, transforming to beast mode. I'm showing up and I'm balling out, and I run this game with no cheat codes. I'm mounted up and I'm ready to go. Victory is mine, I ain't letting go. Believe that, I receive that, it shall come to pass as I said. So if you want it, come get it. Better come with it. I'm on fire, and don't you forget it. I hope against hope. Ain't no situation hopeless. Got the game on lock. Man, my focus got focus. I give my all to this game. Blood, sweat, and tears, man, it's all hard now. I ain't got no fear. It's game time, man. I'ma lay it on the line. I ain't holding nothing back, so let's get it on the grind. It's on now, we ready. 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 It's going down, I'm on fire. I'm definitely in my zone, fire in my bones, so best believe it's on. Sweat and tears, I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing, I'm on fire.
Ain't nobody putting in the work that I put in, I shut it down.
Blood, sweat, and tears, I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing, Still hungry and desperate, I want it bad, I'm all in. I can't be stopped, I'm in the zone, I'm on fire, I'm ballin'. Running on adrenaline, competition can't hold me back. The train is coming, can you hear the horns? Better heed the warning and get off the track. Eye of the tiger, heart of a soldier. There's time on the clock, then the game's never over. Man, I hope against hope, ain't no situation hopeless. Got the game on lock, man, my focus got focus. Give my all to this game, blood, sweat, and tears, man, it's all hard now. I ain't got no fear. It's game time, man, I'ma lay it on the line. I ain't holding nothing back, so let's get in my zone, fire in my bones, so best believe it's on. Sweat and tears I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing, I'm on fire.
Ain't nobody putting in the work that I put in, I shut it down.
Blood, sweat, and tears I've invested in this game, so I lay it on the line because I come to do my thing,
Okay, welcome to Sports Talk with Denise, brought to you by Cannabiz. And of course, KBLP LLC is home with some of the best podcasts ever, so please listen in. Yes, weeks 3 and 4. I don't even know where to begin. Oh, geez, a rough couple of weeks for the Broncos, unfortunately. What do they need to do? Hopefully we can maybe come up with some answers. And unfortunately, as I said at the beginning of the season, a week before, I didn't think Flacco was a good idea, and that has borne some fruit, has it not? I think they need to be looking for a quarterback, for one thing. Let's go to week 3 and what we learned in week 3. The Ravens, of course, got uncomfortably close to the Chiefs, and you had some young quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, and looked great, and the Cowboys and Patriots delivered easy blowouts. Of course, we knew that. And the AFC appears to have more than 2 top dogs. Predicted blowouts often become actual blowouts, of course. Frank Gore is still out there running his butt off, and Daniel Jones won an NFL game just 5 months after being openly mocked on draft night, if you remember. Week 3, a lot to take in, right? Of course. The object in Kansas City rearview mirror is closer than it appears. Patrick Mahomes is on fire, to say the least. Whoa. Thanks to another 3-touchdown performance, they got to win at home. Then they were 3-0. But the Ravens, using a powerhouse running game and a Lamar Jackson passing attack that defies description, outscored the Chiefs by 22-10 in the second half. They only lost 33-28. A scary thought for the Chiefs, though. The Ravens failed on 3 2-point conversions attempts, right? Had those plays gone the other way, that would have put an extra 6 points on the board. And, of course, it would be a very different conversation. So, the Dolphins started Josh Rosen at quarterback, but it didn't matter, as we know. They lost 31-6 and have been outscored, mind you, by a combined 117 points in 3 games. That is insane. Wow. And yeah, the Cowboys and Patriots and the Dolphins and the Jets are who we thought they would be. Yes, they are. As everyone predicted, Dallas continued Miami's misery, winning 31-6, of course, with Josh Rosen at the helm. New England easily beat the Jets at home, 30-14. The Cowboys' defense held Miami without a touchdown, and Ezekiel Elliott's backup, Tony Pollard, ran for more than 100 yards, as did Elliott. The Patriots had things nearly as easy, leading 20-0 at halftime, but they lost Julian Edelman to an injury, and they allowed 2 touchdowns off of turnovers. Okay. Daniel Jones, he looked fantastic, and he wasn't alone. He took over after Eli Manning got benched. I think that was long overdue, but what do I know, right? But he took over as a Giants starting quarterback and was the most talked about of the 8 training camp backups. He started at quarterback this week. And despite his draft day detractors, He looked like a keeper with a win, 32-31 over Tampa Bay. By one, but they did it. But Jones had competition for the best week of the various backups. Kyle Allen for Carolina Panthers threw for 4 touchdown passes and a huge win over Arizona. Teddy Bridgewater was efficient in the Saints' win. You go, Teddy. Yeah, Saints. Over Seattle, Jacoby Brissett continued his strong start to the season in the Colts' win over Atlanta. Mason Rudolph looked solid in the Steelers' loss to San Francisco. Didn't look that great, I didn't think. And Gardner Minshew led the Jags to win over the Titans on Thursday. And I believe, let me see. And then we have Luke Falk of the Jets. Poor guy, he went in. And wow. And Josh Rosen of the Dolphins would prefer that we kept talking about, of course, the other guys. Luke Falk. Oh, geez. Oh, peeps. These two. They need quarterbacks are in high demand right now. But even a boring game can have an exciting end. The NFL Showcase game on Sunday night could not have been a bigger letdown, with Cleveland leading Los Angeles by 6-3 at halftime. Both quarterbacks threw interceptions. Neither team rushed for more than 100 yards. And the game didn't come close to living up to the day's other action. No, it didn't. It was redeemed a bit in its final minutes. Baker Mayfield getting a Cleveland to a 1st and goal on the Rams' 4-yard line. But he threw his second interception of the day. And the Rams have a 3-0 season. And Frank Gore, I think, is going to outlive us all. I think so. He's 36-year-old. He's a running back. Still grinding in his 15th season, guys. 15 seasons. He plowed through Cincinnati's defense for a go-ahead 1-yard touchdown in the final 2 minutes of the Bills' comeback from behind 21-17 victory over the Bengals, which improved Buffalo to 3-0. It was the 98th touchdown of Gore's career. He first came on October 23rd, 2005, when Buffalo's starting quarterback, Josh Allen, was 9. There you go. Wow. Excuse me. Gore, 4th on the NFL's career rushing list with 14,912 yards, needs only 350 more to catch Barry Sanders for 3rd place. He is 3,443 short of Emmitt Smith, which is not at all that realistic, but shouldn't be counted out entirely until Gore says the 2 words, I retire. The Packers can rely on their defense. It's a statement really uttered in the Aaron Rodgers era or large parts of the Brett Favre era. But Green Bay's 3-0 start has been powered largely by the team's rebuilt defense. Preston Smith had 3 sacks. Zadarius Smith had 2, and the Packers, thanks to 3 turnovers, held Denver to 17 points. The 3rd straight game a Green Bay opponent has been held to fewer than 20. That's plenty, especially when Rodgers connects with Marquise Valdes-Scantling for a 40-yard bomb of a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and Aaron Jones runs in 2 more scores. Is it time to push the panic button in Philadelphia? Taken individually, a loss to Atlanta on the road and a mild home upset against Detroit might not be too worrisome, but those results coming in back-to-back weeks as the Eagles, a team that won a Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, they looked remarkably vulnerable. They definitely don't look like the same team, not even close. Carson Wentz will not take his team on the road to Green Bay, trying to avoid a 1-3 start. There was a silver lining. Last year, 5 teams started 1-2 and still made the playoffs, including the Patriots. And of course, as we know, they won the Super Bowl. Some of the top performers, Kyle Allen of the Panthers, now has 6 passing touchdowns and no interceptions in 2 career starts. So there you go. Mark Ingram was on spot. He was dodging defenders left and right. He's something else. Tampa Bay ended up losing the game, but Mike Evans absolutely dominated the Giants' secondary. Of course, top receivers this third week: Mike Evans, Tampa Bay; Keenan Allen, the Chargers; Tyler Lockett, Seattle; and Jaron Walker for Oakland. So, and the Antonio Brown saga continues, right? And it did not surprise me at all that the Patriots dropped him like a bad habit. As soon as that lawsuits appeared, they were done with him. You can't have that kind of stuff going on. Absolutely not. And Bill Belichick and Bob Kraft are two you don't want to have baggage like that because you're not going to play. It's that simple. Now he says he would no longer play in the NFL. Okay, right, okay. It's just crazy. He's being invested by the NFL for multiple accusations of inappropriate sexual behavior, including rape, and of course for a kind of threatening one of the women. So I guess he tweeted it. So there you go. He was less than a week after his first game. Crazy. And his announced intention to no longer play in the league included a call for the NFL Players Association to hold the league accountable for the money he believes he is owed. No, he is not. He didn't end up to his end of the bargain. So, his message, posted to his Twitter account, of course, pointed to his treatment by the league's team owners as motivation for the decision. It is not clear whether Brown had received any interest from NFL teams. I doubt it. Daniel Jones, you better watch out for him. He rushed for a 7-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter of his second game. His second of the game, leading the Giants to winning his first NFL start. It was 32-31, but a win's a win, right? So, we'll see what happens with him. The Raiders did what they could to slow down Dalvin Cook of the Vikings, but Minnesota Stars running back topped 100 yards for the third consecutive game. Yeah, they whopped the Raiders 34-14. Running the ball, of course, may be out of fashion, but the Vikings are loving Dalvin Cook. He piled up 375 yards on the ground in 3 games. Chiefs and Ravens, of course. You know, the Chiefs won that. Mahomes is just crazy on fire, isn't he? Just when you think he's, starting to slack a little, boom, he comes back. Dak Prescott's Cowboys over the Dolphins, of course, that was an easy pick. 9 passing touchdowns through 3 weeks, and that is a Cowboys franchise record. He'll need 3 next week, week 4 against New Orleans to stay ahead of Romo's pace. Of course, the Patriots over the Jets, we knew that. Lions over the Eagles. Colts, 27 over the Falcons, 24. They didn't win by much, but they won. Bills over the Bengals, 21-17. Packers over the Broncos. Got another loss. Green Bay has yet to score 30 points in a game this season, but they did win. Excuse me, gosh. 49ers over the Steelers. Yes, a 3-0 start. Papers over a lot of their flaws, and if you don't focus on San Francisco's lowly competition in the wins, the 5 turnovers the team had on Sunday, or the fact they needed a last-second comeback to beat Pittsburgh despite Ben being out, then everything is wonderful. Panthers over the Cardinals, 38-20. Giants over the Buccaneers, of course, by 1. It was a good game, actually. Saints over the Seahawks, yeah. Plenty good takeaways from a game that New Orleans won with a backup quarterback in the hostile road environment, of course. The Saints might want to take a hard look at what went wrong with their defense in the fourth quarter, though. Seattle's offense, which had been dormant all game, scored 20 points in the last 15 minutes. Rams over the Browns, of course. What do you think of, well, we'll get to that. We will get to that. So those are the highs and lows of week 3. So what else did we learn in week 3? So many quarterbacks, long-time quarterbacks, the bottom will inevitably fall out sooner or later. So week 3 dawned. Drew Brees was out, Ben Roethlisberger is out, and Eli Manning benched. Wow. Perhaps headlining new guard, even with Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers hanging on for now, as 20 quarterbacks 26 years of age or younger started. Most in 1 week during the Super Bowl era. Crazy. Ironically, week 3 marked the 15-year anniversary since Big Ben replaced Tommy Maddox as Pittsburgh starter, and 18 years since Brady permanently supplanted Drew Bledsoe in New England. But seeing the Saints, Teddy Bridgewater, 26, take over and jump into Brees' saddle Sunday in Seattle and notched his first win since he was a Pro Bowler with the Vikings, had to be the weekend's most heartwarming development. And I did. I had picked the Saints. I love the Saints. Brees and Brady began Sunday tied with 522 career TD passes. However, another unfortunate aspect of Brees' surgery won't get to see this duo's race to overtake Peyton Manning's all-time record. Brady stands at 524 after they mauled the Jets. Crazy to think 6 months ago the Giants' big 3 on offense were Manning, running back Saquon Barkley, and wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. Now, if Barkley's ankle injury keeps him out for a significant period, New York's big 3 moving forward will be Jones, running back Wayne Gallman, and wide receiver Sterling Shepard. The Patriots' defense has allowed just 3 points this season, though New England let the Jets score 1 touchdown apiece Sunday on defense and special teams. Maybe they felt sorry for him. I don't know. And those mark the Jets' first TDs in Foxborough, which they visit annually since 2015. Is there anything the Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes can't do? The reigning MVP is now 6-0 when September starts. He's led Kansas City to at least 25 points in all 22 of his NFL starts, including postseason. And he only needed 20 regular season starts to throw 60 TD passes, smashing Dan Marino's previous mark by 5 games. He is squarely on track to become the first back-to-back league MVP since Peyton Manning did it a decade ago. I do love his commercials. I think it is freaking hilarious. He is so funny. Remember, laundry is on Tuesdays, okay. Anyway, crazy. So, I don't know if there's anything he can't do. We'll find out. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is 0-2 in regular season starts against the Chiefs. He's 8-0 against everybody else. However, Baltimore almost made its 33-28 defeat far more interesting when Justin Tucker used a drop kick on an outside attempt to try to get the ball back. Head coach John Harbaugh's brilliant special teams mind surfaces again in a league where the new kickoff rules have made onside recoveries virtually impossible. Nice to see a fantastic football town like Cleveland finally earn an appearance on Sunday Night Football. Yes, it was great. Unfortunately, despite that Week 2 Monday night win, the Browns still aren't quite ready for prime time. Oh, I think they are now. Anyway, Tampa Bay ownership needs to fire general manager Jason Licht if he drafts one more kicker, though it's pretty amazing he's lasted this long. The Dallas Cowboys are 3-0, and that's never happened with quarterback Dak Prescott as a starter. He's now awaiting a new contract. I'll bet he is. It's also never happened with Jason Garrett as head coach. He's also awaiting a new contract. Whatever. The 49ers are 3-0. Garoppolo's on fire here. This is the first time since 1998. Sound the Steve Young Mariucci siren, right? Yeah. Hand it to the Dolphins, maybe. They're trying to get better or trying to make any accusation of tanking appear less obvious. They gave the Cowboys all they could handle for a half before succumbing to 25 points. Crazy. Miami. Head to Watt comparison. Texans defensive end JJ 5 tackles 2 sacks, and the Chargers fullback and brother Derek minus 1 yard rushing. NFL rushing leader Dalvin Cook 375 yards has an early beat on All-Pro honors after becoming the first Viking to rush for at least 100 yards in the team's first 3 games. Absolutely. And somewhere, Troy Polamalu is probably smiling. Newly acquired Steelers safety Minka Fitzpatrick picked off a pass and forced a fumble in his Pittsburgh debut. So good for you. The Lions, 2-1, they have a tie, have beaten preseason Super Bowl teams. Chargers, Eagles. Wow. Anyone aside from Patriots fans and fantasy owners miss Antonio Brown on Sunday? Nope, don't think so. I don't think even the Patriots fans miss him, to tell you the truth. Any aside from Jets fans and fantasy owners miss Le'Veon Bell on Sunday? Wait a minute, he played, didn't he? Yes, he did. Excuse me, yep. Bills fans continue to love Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton, who served up 2 interceptions Sunday during his first regular season visit to Buffalo, since he vaulted the Bills into the playoff 2 years ago. Buffalo's Tre'Davious White picked off both of Dalton's passes that sealed their win. I don't know. I think Andy he seems to be... these teams need quarterbacks. It's kind of crazy. There's a demand for quarterbacks, apparently. And the sad news is the Denver Broncos still don't have a single sack. And Von Miller and Bradley Chubb still play for them. We'll get to week 4 here in a minute. Broncos quarterback Joe Flacco has been sacked 11 times, people. Yes, Garrett Bowles still plays for them, though he is not flagged Sunday after collecting 34 penalties in his first 34 NFL starts. Panthers quarterback Kyle Allen, starting in place of injured Cam Newton, threw 4 TD passes in the win over Arizona. The Raiders, they don't play in Oakland again until November. They have a 5-city road trip with a home game in London with a loss. We'll see. Tight end Jordan Akins will likely be a hot fantasy waiver claim this week. The Texans tight end scored twice Sunday and the first TDs of his 2-year career. Might finally be time for some rapprochement between the Chargers and holdout Melvin Gordon, running back, after the Bolts lost their second in a row, managing just 73 yards against Houston. Ouch. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't there a rule or something if they hold out so long after the season starts? I don't know. I thought they had to report before then. We'll see how that plays out. And, of course, the Titans. Come on, Titans. Play Nate Davis. Why else do you think quarterback Mariota has been sacked a league-high 17 times, including 9 in Thursday's loss at Jacksonville already. Play him already. Let's go. Crazy. And Kyle Murray was bagged 8 more times Sunday. Now sacked 16 times. How much punishment can he take? And what about Nick Foles? Has he taken his last snap as a Jaguar? I think so. Rookie Gardner Minshew II is showing no signs of relinquishing that job after joining Byron Leftwich as the only passers in franchise history to throw a TD in his first 3 NFL games. Yeah, I think his time as a Jag is over. I don't know. There's got to be some decent quarterbacks somewhere. It's crazy. And then we had the Falcons safety Canal Neal. He tore an ACL in last season's regular opener. And third week, he suffered an Achilles injury that appeared serious in the moment. He had a very emotional reaction following the play. And unfortunately, he got a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from the officials. He tossed his helmet in frustration. Nice job, Zebras. Way to literally add insult to injury. There is something wrong with these refs this year. I don't know what I can't put my finger up, but they're driving me nuts again. Oh dear. Maybe Luck retiring is going to give them a chance this year. Major Brissett, as they call Captain Andrew, Indy is in good hands with Major Brissett, yes. So, I don't know. These refs, I just don't know. So that's what we kind of learned. And the Denver Broncos. I don't know. What do you think they should do, guys? What do you think the Broncos need to do? I just don't know. Just crazy. Crazy. The Packers, of course, took on the Broncos at Lambeau Field. And, of course, the Packers look to continue their perfect start. But they face a tougher test than the Broncos' 0-2 record indicate. Aaron Rodgers has managed the first 2 weeks with modest stats of just over 200 yards, no interceptions, and his wrist coach were able to speed up the play calling while reducing everybody's blood pressure. Of waiting for the perfect precision throw leaves him vulnerable to aggressive pass rushers. Through 2 weeks, he's been sacked 7 times, and that is the 7th highest in the NFL. Of the 7, 5 of them coming against the Bears. If 12 can find receivers early like the quick start Packers of old, he should be able to slow down Vaughn and Chubb from ruining his afternoon. Unlike the Bears, the Broncos don't have the talent in the secondary to bolster that pass rush, which has left Vaughn and Chubb with 0 sacks through 2 weeks. They need to definitely beef up that secondary. They can't. Vaughn can't do it all by himself now. Come on. And Bradley Chubb, which was we'll talk about that in a minute. Crazy. Injury designation may limit Jimmy Graham's involvement, leaving a coming out party for Robert Tonyan, a.k.a. Bobby Touchdowns. Aggressive pass rush will leave openings over the middle for the group to take advantage. If Jimmy plays, it's expected to be only in passing situation, as it is normally with him running around 87% of his plays. Denver is struggling to cover the tight end, through 2 weeks, allowing a catch rate of 84.2% and 143 yards. Crazy. Based on the Packers' interest in the toss and off-tackle runs, the offense is going to be in the hands of Aaron Rodgers to avoid these elite edge defenders. Broncos' defense is currently giving up a 444% catch rate to running backs. And granted, that is against check-down captains Mitch Trubisky and Derek Carr. Broncos' defense is only allowing 340 yards for a total of 177 yards rushing. If not one, both are running back score, but production on the ground will be limited outside the red zone. The outlook for that, Packers will struggle if they aren't able to stretch the field with wide runs and deep shots to MVS and Geronimo. Think the game is closer the Pats are getting from Vegas. I don't know. Yep. I don't know. I don't know what the Broncos should do. Well, yeah, I do. Get a new quarterback and beef up that secondary. They need help back there. Okay. That was kind of week 3. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with week 4, and we'll talk more on the Broncos, okay? Again, welcome to KBLP LLC, home of the best podcasts in the area. So there you go. I think it's great. We have some of the best podcasts ever. We really do. So make sure you check out KBLP LLC. I always want to shorten it. I don't know why. KBLP LLC on Facebook. You can get the shows from there, or go to KBLP LLC 4, the number 4, on YouTube. And for your listening pleasure, we have some Fall Out Boy.
My songs know what you did in the dark. My songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire. So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up. I'm on fire.
Okay, and we are back for week 4 in the NFL. Okay, so week 4 was one for the road. Well, they were one for the road teams. 10 of the 13 visitors came away with wins on Sunday. And of course, that included the still undefeated Chiefs and Patriots. This is what we learned from this past week. In a rematch of last season's surprising defenseless slugfest, Dallas and New Orleans treated Sunday night viewers to a beat-for-beat sequel. I loved it, with a twist. It was great. I was really worried about the Cowboys, but guess what? They're not invincible. In 2018, the two sides combined for 23 points and 484 total yards. This year, just 22 points were scored and 523 yards. Week's 4 clash between the Cowboys and the Saints, it was a slow burn, it was. A lot of defensive stands, field goals, and the rare big play to provide thrills. Ooh. The difference this time around, other than Drew Brees being sidelined, was that Alvin Kamara, New Orleans' most dynamic and unique offensive talent, showed up, and the Saints, they're 3-1 now, came out victorious. As he did in Seattle last week, Kamara carried the Saints to victory with 89 total yards on 20 touches, whereas Michael Thomas, 9 catches on 9 targets, helped move the chains. Kamara moved mountains against the Cowboys' front 7 when he was able to split Dallas's rangy linebackers, Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, on the edges, and he did so with precision in a head-to-head matchup with Ezekiel Elliott. He outgained the Cowboys by 24 total yards. Kamara picked up 4 first downs on New Orleans' final 3 drives, which resulted, of course, in just 3 points, but knocked over 17 minutes off the clock. Time management there, right? On a night when offensive heroes are few and far to come by, Kamara was a late game changer. And you have to count Will Lutz, whose 4 field goals were the only points for the Saints. So they won 12-10, I believe. Good guess. I was ecstatic, to say the least. I'm sorry. I am not a Cowboys fan. Sorry. Neither one played particularly well in primetime, but you have to chalk that up to the outstanding play from both of the front 7s. Both defensive line played inspired ball, thanks to the return of recently injured and suspended players. In his second game wearing the star, Robert Quinn beat Teron Armstead for a game-high 2 sacks and 3 quarterback hits. Sheldon Ranko's returned from a torn Achilles to play 35 snaps, 2 tackles, and pressure Prescott late in the game. It wasn't just the fresh fish that stood out, though. As they were last year, Smith and Vander Esch were sideline-to-sideline guard dogs, snuffing out most east-to-west attempts in their path. The former's late-game 16-yard sack of Bridgewater nearly swung the final result. But the standout defender on the evening was dressed in black and gold, of course. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. Wow, he was a beast on Sunday. Until Sunday, he enjoyed a disappointing start to the season. Shut down Amari Cooper, allowing just 4 catches and 8 targets for 39 yards. Lattimore's lockdown coverage with the Saints' reinvigorated pass rush complicated things for Prescott, who threw for a season low. See, even he is not invincible, okay? And they ran into a competitor down in the bayou, guys. So there you go. They were knocked from the ranks of the undefeated. The Cowboys will want to address bubbling issues, chief among them the offensive line. It failed to pave the way for Elliott. They stopped Elliott pretty much cold. So, the Cowboys' 4 for 11 third down conversion rate was also their worst on the short season. They have tests against Green Bay and Philadelphia coming in the next 3 weeks. The Cowboys cannot afford to backslide on offense and surrender their lead in the conference. So we shall see what happens. And of course, we have the Kansas City and Detroit Lions. Even when Patrick Mahomes doesn't have his best day, the gunslinger always gives the Chiefs a chance to win. The reigning NFL MVP led the game-winning drive on the road, silencing a raucous Detroit crowd, of course. Mahomes used his legs to pick up several huge first downs late, and of course found some holes in the Lions' defense, which was only rushing 2 and 3 defenders much of the final drive. Mahomes was a tad off on his deep shots all afternoon, missing a bevy of bombs by a hair. It wasn't by much, but he was off. The normally dive-bombing signal caller generated no completions of 20-plus yards on the day. He came in with 14 straight games with 2 or more passing TDs. Matt Patricia's defense held him out of the end zone, but Mahomes made enough plays between the 20s, and KC ran for 3 TDs, including Darrell Williams' game-winning score. Sunday was a reminder that even the Chiefs, who are now 4-0, don't have their best day and can't hit the deep shots. Mahomes will find a way to get a win. Okay. In the third quarter of that game, wow, it was a fumble-palooza there. It really was. The teams combined for 5 fumbles, the most in a single quarter since 1991. That was crazy. KC committed 3 of the botches, opening the quarter with a kickoff fumble and coughing up the ball on each of its next 2 possessions. The Lions, however, couldn't capitalize on the miscues. Matthew Stafford fumbled inside the 5-yard line. A play after a touchdown pass to Kenny Galladay was overturned. Crazy. Following the Chiefs' next fumble, Kerryon Johnson had the ball knocked out, trying to stretch for a score at the goal line. The Chiefs' Bashad Breeland scooped up the ball and ran 100 yards for a score. And the referees, and this is the same crew that blew a call dead against New Orleans 2 weeks ago. They're still at it, apparently. They let the play go on as Detroit players thought Johnson was down. But after review, the touchdown stood upon reviewing, and that gave KC a massive score and its first lead of the tilt in a tight game. I don't know what's up with these referees. I mean, there were 2 weeks in a row against New Orleans that they muffed it, of course. Crazy. Giants 24, Washington Redskins 3. Spotted 14 points. Daniel Jones prevailed in the first of what could be many NFC East showdowns with fellow 2019 first rounder Dwayne Haskins, who made his debut Sunday and struggled exceedingly as the Giants defeated the Redskins 24-3. And that improved them to 2-0 in the Danny Dimes era. On the second Sunday, under center for the Giants, Jones began phenomenally as he orchestrated touchdown drives on each of the Big Blues' first 2 marches. He did show his mortality with a pair of picks and ended the game with 78 passer rating, but he was still 23 for 31 for over 200 yards and a touchdown. The move from Eli Manning to Jones continues to be a celebrated one. As for Jay Gruden pulling the trigger on replacing Case Keenum for Haskins, it may well have proved Gruden correct in his hesitation in the number 15 overall pick to lead the Redskins. Unlike Jones, when he pulled off a riveting rally to propel the Giants past the Buccaneers, Haskins found no such magic. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. See how that plays out. There's a chance Saquon Barkley may be back quicker than expected. That would be great for the Big Blue faithful. Hopefully he will be. But if it doesn't come to fruition, Wayne Gallman provided reason for relief on Sunday. He showcased quickness and aggression with the ball and looked pretty comfortable in the offense as he made an immediate impact. So there you go. We'll see how this all plays out. We have the Chicago Bears 16, Minnesota Vikings 6. And last year I just couldn't figure out how the hell they lost in the playoff games, the Bears, because they had a phenomenal team. I was just like, wow, why aren't they in this? It was crazy. It was crazy. So, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings 6. And here goes another one. Mitchell Trubisky exited with a left shoulder injury, did not return. So, that's another one down. We have Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Ben Roethlisberger, Mitchell Trubisky. This is crazy. They benched Eli, so the veteran Chase Daniel stepped in and guided the Bears to their only touchdown of the game on the opening drive. The 11-year pro made good, quick decisions, getting the ball out of his hands. He completed 22 of 30 passes for 195 yards and a TD. With a stifling defense at his back, Daniel didn't make boneheaded mistakes. There you go. The Bears are now 3-1. He got the Bears into the right place and removed the chains on several long drives, and it ate the clock. Chicago didn't ask the veteran to do too much, just 3 attempts of more than 15 air yards, but he managed the game well and conducted Matt's game plan. So, with Daniel's ball placement superior to Trubisky, there's an argument that Chicago could be in a better situation with the backup against good defenses. And it depends on how long Trubisky is out. We could see 32-year-old Daniel for an extended period. Nagy has to be confident in what he saw Sunday. So there you go. And the Vikings offense continues to be a rudderless ship, obviously. When Cook and the run game is stymied, Cousins has no answers. Cousins, I think, is going to be done. The quarterback turned into captain check down far too often, even when trailing by 2 scores late. Cousins completed just 2 of 4 passes, attempts of 10-plus air yards. Adam Thielen was blanketed all day, earning just 2 receptions for 6 yards. Stephon Diggs went for 108 yards on 7 catches, but most of that was empty calories, and his second quarter fumble squashed early momentum. Cousins took sack after sack and fumbled twice, losing one and having the other knock them out of scoring range. The Vikings had just 2 first-half possessions. Their second half went little better. Kirk Cousins, another one might be gone again. So we shall have to wait and see. Minnesota generated 8 or fewer yards, including 3 of negative yardage. Only on a late-game drive going up-tempo did the Vikings move the ball. It was too little too late. When Cook isn't churning out yards, the Vikings offense simply can't find enough plays to beat good defenses, obviously. So, and then the Panthers 16 over the Texans. That surprised me. Excuse me. I was really surprised about that. So much for the Texans' revamped offensive line. Well, it's only one game. Chill out. A week after giving Deshaun Watson one of the cleanest days of his career against the Chargers, Houston's protection reverted to form against the Panthers' supercharged pass rush. It was apparent Watson was headed for a long day when he was taken down on back-to-back sacks to end the first drive of the day, and Carolina's front 7 turned up the heat from there. Yes, they did. Watson was unable to get anything going through the air for the now 2-2 Texans, finishing 21 of 33. And what was interesting about Sunday is 13 teams were 2-2, ended up 2-2. That's crazy, right? We only have 2 undefeated teams, of course, the Chiefs and the Patriots. And what happened with the Chiefs, I think, was part of the problem. is that Detroit, they left too much time on that. There was poor time management on the Lions' part. They gave them Mahomes way too much time to come back, and all they needed, was a field goal to win anyway. So, but it was crazy. It was crazy. They gave him way too much time. I think that's time management. So, yeah. So I think that was the problem. If they didn't have that much time, they could have won that one. So anyway, the Houston Texans. I was really disappointed in them on Sunday. I was really surprised. But anyway, they're 2-2. Panthers cornerback James Bradbury did a great job. He negated DeAndre Hopkins. And, of course, the loss of Kenny Stills to a hamstring injury sapped much of the big play threat from Houston's attack. But the larger focus should be on Watson's line as Carolina fished with 6 sacks, 12 quarterback hits, and 18 hurries. So there you go. Kyle Allen garnered the majority of the headlines during the week, but as Christian McCaffrey goes, so does the offense in Carolina. The Panthers' star running back had 37 touches. As Allen struggled with ball security, Carolina simplified its game to rely on McCaffrey as a sure-handed security blanket for a young quarterback. Christian McCaffrey is great. And anyway, so there you go. Also, the Panthers have battled their way back to 2-2 without Cam Newton under center, playing the style of football Ron Rivera loves to see. They have a bona fide kicking weapon in Joey Sly. He connected on all 3 of his field goal attempts, including a 55-yard go-ahead field goal he made with ease. After missing his first goal of the season, he is a perfect 10 for 10. So there you go. Tampa, what if this was an interesting game? High scoring. Defenses really sucked, apparently. Tampa Bay 55, the Rams 40. Holy crap. After a crushing defeat against the Giants last week, Tampa Bay, 2-2, came out and put on an offensive clinic in L.A. The Bucs were up 21-0 with 5:34 left in the first half when the Rams finally put some points on the board. The Bucs went into halftime 28-17. Things got interesting in the fourth quarter, though. Both offenses scored 2 touchdowns to bring the score to the Bucs up 45-34. Then cornerback Marcus Peters intercepted a pass from Jameis Winston and ran it 32 yards for a touchdown to bring the Rams within 5 points. Bucs kicker Matt Gay hit a 21-yard field goal, and then Jared Goff was strip sacked by Shaq Barrett, and of course Sue scooped up the fumble and scored a defensive touchdown to win the game. Welcome back to the LA Coliseum. The Bucs signed the unrestricted free agent in March after his 1-year deal with the Rams ended. So that was Jared Goff. He was not the greatest. He did not look that good, I don't think. But it was the offense that really did it for him. They played surprisingly well against the Rams defense that carried the team for much of the first 3 weeks. The Bucs were able to put up a franchise record, 55 points, against what had been a vaunted LA defense. The points the Rams allowed Sunday are the 3rd most in a game in franchise history. Okay. Crazy. And then, of course, we have the Browns and the Ravens. Oh, darn, Ravens. Too bad. Cleveland 40, Baltimore Ravens 25. The Browns defense held Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense in check. Cleveland put up 40 on the Ravens, but its defense, of course, was a crucial part of its success. Aside from a Willie Snead garbage time touchdown, the Ravens offense couldn't make big plays, struggled on 3rd down, and turned the ball over at critical moments. The Ravens filled the stat sheet with yards, but their offense was rhythmless, to the point where Jackson had to take matters into his own hands and scurry to make plays when his receiving corps was bottled up. The Browns also did it with a banged-up secondary, as Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, and Morgan Burnett were held out of the game, but their replacements played superb. Demarius Randall blitzed from his corner position to sack Jackson on a big third down play in the first quarter. Jermaine Whitehead had a beautiful interception in the fourth quarter and deflected a pass during a corner blitz. That allowed Devereaux Lawrence to get another late interception at Jackson. Cleveland's defense also forced Mark Ingram to cough up his first turnover of the year. They were shorthanded, but the Browns had the upper hand, with effective scheming from DC Steve Wilkes against a dynamic Ravens offense. And of course, Nick Chubb, oh yeah, was the motor behind the Browns offense that nearly doubled its point total for the year. Chubb found the end zone 3 times and sealed the game in the fourth quarter with an 88-yard run to the house. Jack, you got it. Behind an improved Browns offensive line, the second-year running back finished the day with 165 yards on 20 rushes, 3 catches for 18 yards, and 5 first down to go with his 3 scores. Not a bad day at the office, I'd say. You go, Nick Chubb. He was, and speaking of, we'll get to that, though. But Nick Chubb, you are a beast, boy. Go to it. He was great. The Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. receiving tandem was a little lopsided, but effective. So you go. Landry was a go-to playmaker for the Browns in the first half, and that started out as a defensive chess match. And he could have had an even bigger day with the score if he didn't lose his footing at the tail end of a 60-yard cash and run. On the other hand, Beckham had a day for the give, but his presence was certainly felt. OBJ went 3 quarters without a catch for the first time in his career, and he caught 2 in the fourth. He received plenty of attention from the Ravens secondary, however, and it certainly helped the Browns' offense break big plays. And you go, Nick Chubb. Yeah, of course, New England 16, Buffalo Bills 10. Wasn't a blowout, was it? It was crazy. They didn't have a whole lot going on there. It was just a plain and simple game, so we won't even go into that. Okay, here we go. Jacksonville Jags 26, Broncos 24. They should have won this game. There is no reason why they should not have won this game. Defense, oh my God, what happened? And I'll tell you, there was, at the end of the game, his face told it all, Von Miller's face. He was just, I can't even describe what he looked like. I think it was frustration, disappointment. The look on his face told it all. It really did. Week 4 will be known as the moment Minshew Mania met the Fournette Frenzy. No telling how long this new craze will last, but for at least 1 week, Leonard Fournette put on a show the likes of what Jags fans haven't seen since the days of Fred Taylor. On the road against the Denver defense, still looking to live up to expectations, Fournette rushed for a career-high 225 yards on 29 carries. The number is impressive on its own, but it's even crazier when you consider that Fournette combined for 175 rushing yards through the first 3 weeks. His big numbers may have outshined Gardner Minshew in the box score, but it's a rookie quarterback who made the plays that capped off the scoring drives on the comeback bid. The Jags took the lead after Minshew capped the team's first 2 drives. An absurd 81-yard Fournette run from the Jacks 7 helped set up the second score. Both players are, of course, undeniably special, but the biggest star of the day was kicker Josh Lambo. His 2 clutch fourth-quarter field goals propelled the team to the second-largest comeback win in the franchise history. Despite the Broncos' defense earning its first sacks of the season, 5 of them, by the way, the once-hyped unit still surrendered 20 unanswered points en route to Denver's 4th straight loss. And it doesn't help when the offense goes cold after scoring 2 TDs and setting up a field goal in the first half. The collapse spoke volumes to the group's inability to play complementary football through the first 4 weeks. Fournette was held to 35 yards on the ground, and Minshew limited to 91 through the air in the first 30 minutes. But that stagnant play wouldn't hold. Couple another tough showing with the fact that Von Miller earned his 99th and 100 sacks in the loss, and things only look more disappointing for the underperforming Denver D. They need to do something on that defense. What do you guys think they should do? No Jalen Ramsey? No problem. With Ramsey's trade request still looming, the Jags defense got its first taste of life without him, who never missed a game prior to Sunday. Giving up 3 TDs to Joe Flacco, the most he's had in a game since week 1 last season, but the group stepped up when it needed to. Denver was held to 371 total yards, converted only 4 of 11 third down, and registered only 20 minutes on the field. Jag safety Ronnie Harrison also recorded his first interception, a play that proved crucial as it led to a Lambeau 40-yarder to end the first half. What does Denver need to do? Poor Von Miller, his face told it. I felt so bad for him. First, they need a quarterback. I'm sorry, but I said this from the beginning. Flacco was not the answer. I know a lot of you were behind him, and that's great, but I knew he wasn't going to make it. It's just, I think he's done. He can't do this. And they need to beef up that defense. I don't know. It's like they don't have the heart they did. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I hope they get it fixed. I really do. The Chargers 30, Miami Dolphins 10. The Miami Dolphins and the Jets are becoming like practice teams because everybody wins against them. There's like 13 teams at 2-2 right now. It's kind of crazy. They have Josh Rosen now for the Dolphins. They had a hot start against the Chargers. But it wasn't enough, of course. They lost. Raiders 31, Colts 24. Ouch. They're also 2-2. There's a lot of teams 2-2. It's crazy. 13 of them. Excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice here. The Raiders, they're now 2-2, went to Indy and pulled off a big one on the road. They needed that. They came out hot with 3 touchdowns in the game's first 16 minutes. Crazy. Derek Carr was on fire. Then wideout Trevor Davis, he scored a 60-yard touchdown in his first game with Oakland. On the next drive, Tyrell Williams scored a touchdown in every game so far this season. The Raiders look good on both sides of the ball. They did. Their defense forced 2 turnovers. Defensive end Max Crosby hit Paris Campbell from behind to jar the Bard loose in the second quarter. The Colts got off to a great start with Andrew Luck this season, but against the Raiders, anything that could go wrong did. Jacoby Brissett had a 20% completion percentage in the first quarter. He entered Week 4 leading the NFL with 95% in the first quarter. The Colts just couldn't keep hold of the ball with 5 drops in the first half. The defense couldn't put pressure on Carr nor stop the Raiders' run game. Even with the Raiders racking up penalties in the second half, and they did suffer a few drops of their own, the Colts couldn't take advantage. Oakland had 3 false starts in 1 drive in the fourth quarter. The defense made a huge stop on a 3rd and 5 to force the Raiders to punt, but Oakland got the ball back 3 plays later and scored. But injuries really hurt the Colts this week without their wide receiver, of course, T.Y. Hilton with a quad. Linebacker Darius Leonard, he has a concussion, and safety Malik Hooker with a knee. Indy missed out on several opportunities on both sides of the ball, obviously. So there you go. Titans 24, Falcons 10. Dang it. Yeah. Just when you thought you had him figured out, Marcus Mariota puts together his best game of the season. Of course he did. Just crazy. So the Titans 2-2 now. Of course, another team 2-2. Like I said, there's like 13 of them. Seahawks 27, Cardinals 10. So I think we don't have to really go through that. Just crazy. Injuries again. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So we'll go over some of the injury. Trubisky was a big one. I don't know. I don't know what Denver can do. I think they need to get Flacco out of there is what we need to do. I'm sorry, but like I said before, even before the season started, it was not a good thing. So, very good, very good. Let's take a look at some injuries. But I want to hear from you all. What do you think Denver needs to do? And I'm really surprised with Elway that he would let Flacco. Elway should know better. Honestly, I never did like Flacco, but what do I know? Okay, some notable injuries going on. Of course, the Texans wide receiver Kenny Stills, hamstring injury, and their offensive lineman Zach Fulton hurt his back. Ouch. And there was a time in the Browns game, I'm not sure if it should have been offsetting penalties. It was OBJ and Humphreys, and yeah, they were jawing back and forth, and they were in each other's face, and I guess OBJ tried to throw a punch, but Humphreys chokeslammed him. And I'm sorry, I think he should have been ejected from the game for that. Are you kidding me? He was actually choking him on the ground. He said he apologized to him later. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have been doing that. Come on now. And then the refs come up. Oh, those were just offsetting penalties. He's chokeslammed his ass. Are you serious? These refs better get it together. And of course, we'll talk about the one guy who is banned from the NFL the rest of the season. So, let's go back to some injuries, and then we'll talk about that. Chicago Bears, of course, Mitchell Trubisky with a left shoulder injury. So, Bills quarterback Josh Allen was evaluated for a head injury and did not return. Another one. Crazy. Cowboys left tackle Tyron Smith suffered a apparent leg injury in the loss to the Saints. Apparently, Jerry Jones told reporters that he had a high ankle situation. High ankle sprain, apparently. The Chargers defensive end Melvin Ingram injured his hamstring versus the Dolphins. Receiver Dontrell Inman exited with a quad injury. Linebacker Denzel Perryman was evaluated for concussion. Atlanta Falcons OL Jamon Brown was ruled out with a head injury. Alex Mack had an elbow injury. Detroit Lions cornerback Condre Diggs suffered a hamstring, did not return. And tight end T.J. Hawkinson with a concussion. Indianapolis Colts rookie receiver Paris Campbell suffered an abdominal injury in the first half, but later returned in the third quarter. Hope he's all right. Running back Marlon Mack, an ankle injury. Cleveland Browns Jarvis Landry suffered a concussion with the Ravens. So hopefully he'll be all right in a week or two. We need him. New York Giants linebacker Ryan Connolly suffered a knee injury, did not return. Redskins Ryan Anderson, elbow injury. Denver Broncos Bradley Chubb, this is what I wanted to talk about. He tallied his first sack of the season. He suffered a knee injury, and it does not look good, guys. No, does not look good. The Saints defensive end Trey Hendrickson has been ruled out with a neck injury. LA Rams Marcus Peters was evaluated for concussion, but he returned an interception for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So that wraps the injuries up. So that, but still. So we have that dude. Kirk Cousins apologizes to Adam Thielen. How about that, guys? After Sunday's Super Bowl 9-esque game, 16-6 loss to the Bears, Adam Thielen called out Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins. On Tuesdays, Cousins agreed with his observations. I really want to apologize to Thielen because there's too many opportunities where we could have hit him on Sunday. And post-game, when I talk to the media, I always say, hey, till I watch a film, it's hard to really give you a straight answer. He watched the films Tuesday night, and the reality is there were opportunities for Thielen. The one that's most obvious is 3rd and 10 at the beginning of the game. So he did apologize to him. Antonio Brown fires back at Baker Mayfield in bizarre ongoing Twitter beef. Oh, that's funny. Really, Brown? Wow. Antonio Brown says, should have never been drafted before Lamar Jackson. What a scam. Wow. Mayfield never saw AB-84 get ran down by an officer and tackled. Antonio Brown. Sorry ass Chico, keep rolling right. He ain't done nothing in this league, the internet. Only place you would ever talk to or about me. You know you get beat, quick slice up. You get beat, quick slice you up some humble pie. Dear God. And Baker Mayfield. You're right. Let me call out my teammates and throw a fit about my helmet, then go freeze my feet off. Oh my God, you guys. This is hilarious. This is the end of Antonio Brown's NFL career. It will make for an incredible sports doc 10 years from now, as Brown continues to be the laughing stock of professional sports at the moment. He spent the weekend firing back at Baker Mayfield on Twitter, because of course he did. It's crazy. Mayfield posted on his official Instagram page on Friday a picture of himself at a press conference while in college at Oklahoma. And the caption was a cliched caption, just some undersides walk on. Keep that same energy. And then here comes some antagonistic user commented, win football games. That speaks louder than these AB-ish style posts. And then Mayfield uncorked one of his coveted Baker bombs, firing back at a defensive round, replying, you're right, let me call up my teammates, throw a fit about my helmet, then go freeze my feet off. And if y'all don't know what happened, he got mad with the Raiders because he couldn't use his helmet, which was not up to NFL rules, okay? So, and then in the end, he got this deal from this helmet company, and he's making money wearing a helmet. Or he was, okay? And then he went to this cryogenic place, and he got frostbite on his feet. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but this is the stuff he did. On Saturday morning, Brown had obviously been shown the screenshot and attempted to clap back. Brown recorded an NFL account with a picture of Mayfield's Russian message about Brown and responded, sorry, eh? Chico kept rolling right in what we said. Brown, of course, later deleted the tweet too late and then requote another response that he felt was a little more appropriate. Tweeting, should have never been drafted before Lamar Jackson. What a scam. Wow. Excuse me. On a tweet from a Twitter user that made fun of Mayfield's infamously being tackled by a police officer while in Oklahoma in a police surveillance that went viral is hilarious. This came just a day after Brown and NFL veteran safety Eric Weddle came to blows on Twitter, with the two Pro Bowlers trading bizarre barbs, with Brown even uploading a picture of him stiff-arming Weddle to the ground. AB, grow up. Guess what? you're not playing right now, so I think you ought to keep your mouth shut. Okay, moving on. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And are the Patriots keeping a Tom Brady injury under wraps? I don't know. Oh, this is great. How about this one vendor at the Dolphins? And this vendor, of course, he gets arrested. He charged a fan $724 for 2 beers. Okay, so there you go. He was a roving beer vendor, swiped the fan's card using a personal card reader. The vendors, and he put an extra $700 on the bill. The good thing he had a bank app or whatever. He got a notification and got his money back. He was skimming. I wonder how many other people he did that to. So crazy. Yeah, it was Humphreys. It was crazy. Odell Jr., OBJ, and Marlon Humphrey. I don't know. Maybe it could have been. I don't know. I don't think so. Let me find. Oh, the Ravens got him. He's got him by the shirt. Go on Google and see the pages. That's not what I wanted. I'm trying to see. Da, da, da. That's hilarious. $700 for 2 beers. It's a good thing he has that app. So, to let you know, is this yours or not? Okay, come on. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know. I need some insight here on what the Broncos need to do. Oh, you Orange Crush guys, come on. What do they need to do? I want to know. All right, let's see if I can. All right, we'll get it. Okay. Perfect. Sorry. Montez Perfect. He is suspended for the rest of the season. He appealed it, but it looks like it's going to stand. The Raiders. Montez Perfect. He's banned for the rest of the season for a helmet hit. And that was the latest on-field incident, will cost him the rest of the season. Following his helmet-to-helmet hit on Indianapolis Colts tight end Jack Doyle. He was ejected from the Raiders' 31-21 win over the Colts for lowering the helmet to make contact on the hit early in the second quarter. It's reported he will appeal his suspension, but he is also heading back to the United States for his appeal after previously traveling with the Raiders for their game in London for Week 5. The discipline marks the longest punishment ever handed down for an on-field act in the NFL history. He's got a reputation of doing it. This is the third time, and third time you're done, apparently. A lengthy ban, this shouldn't come as a surprise. He's John Runyon, the VP of Football Operations, said in the league release that Burfict was suspended for lowering his head. It was intentional to initiate and make contact with his helmet against an opponent. There were no mitigating circumstances on this play. Your contact was unnecessary, flagrant, and should have been avoided. For your actions, you were penalized and disqualified from the game. Following each of your previous rule violations, you were warned by me and each of the appointed appeal officers that future violations would result in escalated accountability measures. However, you have continued to flagrantly abuse rules designated to protect yourself and your opponents from unnecessary risk. So, but they're all like, thank God the league took action when it did, because you don't want an opponent to get injured like that. This suspension is Burfict's fourth during his NFL career, and the third time he's been hit with a ban for on-field incidents. In 2016, he was suspended 3 games for multiple violations of player safety rules. In 2017, the linebacker was suspended 5 games for a hit to a defensive player. They reduced it to 3 games, so later on. In 2018, he missed 4 games for the violation of the NFL's PED policy. He's also been slapped with multiple fines for illegal hits. He's been viewed as one of the dirtiest players in the NFL. During his 7 seasons with the Bengals, Burfict often towed the line between tough and out of line. The Raiders signed the 29-year-old this offseason to add toughness to the defense. He played under the DC for several years in Cincy. He received rave reviews from the coaching staff and eventually was made team captain. And of course, now he's crossed the line and he's banned for the season. So, is that... Yeah, I think he should have been. If you can, check Google for the replay, and you will see he intentionally did it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He really could have hurt the players. So, but that is the talk. He's done. So, is he going to be done totally? I don't know. He's out this season. So should they just let him fade into the never-ever land or what? Yeah. Don't need that in football. Yeah, you have... yeah, you want to, tackle the guy or whatever, but don't try and take him out, per se, okay? Don't do that. So, the Raiders, and, he's been known for this, so... Take your punishment. All right, let's see what's up for Week 5. Let me make my picks for the next week. Let me get my trusty notebook here, my trusty pen, and we'll get to it. Let's see how I do. Week 3, I think I did pretty good. Anyway, okay, pen in hand, paper ready. Picks for Week 5. Okay. For Thursday, we have the Rams and the Seahawks. Okay. I don't know, geez. I'm going to go with the Seahawks on that one. Jets and Eagles. Oh, God, what a game. Jaguars, Panthers. I am going to go with the Panthers on that one. Jags and Panthers. I'm going to go with the Panthers. And I'm writing this down. Somebody else should too on there, so I know. Vikings and Giants. I am going to go with the Vikings on that one. I still don't think the Giants are up to it. Falcons and Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans. I don't think the Falcons are quite up to it. I don't know. Houston didn't look good this past week, so I don't know. But I'm going to go with the Texans. Okay. Buccaneers, Saints. All right, Saints. You know, I got to go with the Saints. Got to go with my Saints. And hopefully Drew Brees will be back. You could see him on the sideline Sunday. He was doing his exercises there. Doesn't look too bad. He's getting there. So you go Saints. Patriots, Redskins. I am going to go with the Pats, of course. Hope Edelman's back. We shall see, though. Of course, the Patriots. Ravens, Steelers. Okay, the Steelers. Yeah, they won. Oh, yeah, I should have talked about them. Oh, God. Yeah, they look terrible. Ravens and Steelers. The Ravens are going to take the Steelers. We won't go into that. Broncos, how about Bears and Raiders? Okay, go Bears. Come on. I like the Raiders. But I think the Bears have an edge over them, okay? I like Derek Carr, I really do. Broncos and Chargers. I'm going to go with the Broncos against my common sense here. Unfortunately, I hope they win. I really do. But like I said, I think they need to look for a new quarterback and beef up that defense. They're a 4 o'clock game. Packers, Cowboys. Go Packers. I am not a Cowboys fan, never have been. And when they called them America's Dream Team, I was like, wait a minute, I did not vote for that. I didn't think they should do that. Anyway, Colts and Chiefs, I think the Chiefs are going to win. So Colts and Chiefs, I don't know. They might hand them their first loss. Should I take a chance? No. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts for that. Just because I have a funny feeling. I don't know. It didn't sound right when I said it. Monday night game. Browns and 49ers. I have to go with the Browns because I live here, you know. So I have to go with the Saints, and I have to go with the Broncos, and I have to go with the Browns. So regardless of what happens, I have to go with those teams. 49ers are looking good, though. 49ers are looking good. So they look very good, but we shall see what happens. Okay, so that'll do it. So let me know what you think of what the Denver Broncos should do. And I never thought Flacco was a good choice for them to begin with. But at any rate, they need to do that and beef up the defense. Get some help to these guys. Von Miller, the look on his face said it all Sunday. I felt so bad. I really did. And we want them to win. We're still behind you. No doubt, Von Miller. You rock, of course. So, come on, guys. Elway, you need to do something here. The coach needs to talk to you or get rid of the coach. I think he's going to be on the firing line soon here, too, if it doesn't shape up. Excuse me, gosh. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's been an interesting week again in football, as always. The refs, they've had some crappy calls again. We'll keep an eye on them the rest of the season. So enjoy the game tomorrow night. Give me your feedback on here. Get on the chat, okay? I know it was running late tonight, so make sure you catch it on YouTube or catch it on the links in Orange Crush Live. Yeah. And KBLP LLC Facebook page. So there you go. Or catch it on KBLP LLC4 on YouTube, okay? All right, that pretty much does it for me for tonight. Good luck tomorrow night, Rams and Seahawks. And that does it for me for this week. What is tomorrow? Wednesday. I'm going to catch up on American Horror Story. It was such a week. So, it's been crazy. So, let's see. It's been a week for sure. So y'all have a great day tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week, almost to the weekend, guys. So, all right. That'll do it for this week on Sports Talk. Glad to have you here. And as always, peace out, y'all.
Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine. Going out of my f***ing mind. Filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from atop these roofs. Knot it tight so I won't get loose. Truth is you can stop and stare. Run myself out and no one cares. Dug the trench out, lay down there with a shovel up out of reach somewhere. Yeah, someone pour it in. Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. Go, stop the show. Choppy words in a sloppy flow. Shotgun opera, lock and load. Cock it back and then watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse. Can't contain him, he knows he works. This hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Half the words don't mean a thing, and I know that I won't be satisfied. So why try ignoring him? Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. I've opened up these scars. I'll make you face us. I pulled myself so far. I'll make you face us. No! I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. I bleed it out. I bleed it out.
It's real simple. You got 2 more quarters and that's it. Now, most of you have been playing this game for 10 years. You got 2 more quarters, and after that, most of you will never play this game again as long as you live. I want you to take a moment, and I want you to look each other in the eyes. I want you to put each other in your hearts forever, because forever is about to happen here in just a few minutes.
I got my fans in the stands, my team on my back, my family in my heart. I put my city on the map. See, I'm cool with my school, but I know I can do better. I checked the mail yesterday and not one college letter, not one college offer. After all this hard work, I'd be telling you a lie if I said it didn't hurt. So how do I stay focused in this game called life? And do I have a fair chance when this world's so shite? See, we all pay a price. I got some things on my mind, but I need to regain my focus, cause it's game time. Give all, leave nothing. In the end, I gotta choose. Clear eyes, full heart, I can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes. Now look me in the eyes and put your hand in mine. Whatever's about to happen right here in this moment of time. So let's draw a line right here in the sand, and let it be said that on this very day is the day that we took a stand. Cause not just the game, it's more than the game. It's more than the hurt, it's more than the pain. It's more than the glory, it's more than the fame. This right here's about legacy, man, so it's bigger than me, it's bigger than us. We can lose sight in the midst of the fuss. Let's slow it down and take it in. Enjoy this moment, what's the rush? They want it back, but we wanted more. This is what we've been waiting for. With tears in our eyes, we let our hearts roar. Unleash war when we walk out this door. We won't be delayed, we won't be denied. In the end, we won't refuse with clear eyes, a full heart. There's no way that we can lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Clear eyes.
Man fanatic for life. I like the sound of that. Lock 'em up, throw away the key. 6 more years with Von Miller, that's okay with me. Yeah. Lock 'em up, throw away the key. 114 million, 70 was guaranteed. He's a Bronco for life, for life, for life. He's gonna be a Bronco for life, for life, for life. Miller is a Bronco for life, for life, for life. I'm a Bronco for life, a Bronco for life. He's a Bronco for life, for life, for life. He's gonna be a Bronco for life, for life, for life. Miller is a Bronco for life, for life, for life. For life, a Bronco for life, you know, a Bronco for life. Look, I met Bonnie at the 16 Ways Toy Drive. I was turning up crazy cause your boy lied. I can't lie, I was faded. I ain't have no filter, I had something on my mind, so I stated it. I said, Von, please don't go to Dallas. Then he hit me with that major key, DJ Khaled. He said I won't, I'ma be a Bronco for life. And little did I know, he was right, he was right. Lock 'em up, throw away the key. 6 more years with Von Miller, that's okay with me. Yeah. Lock 'em up, throw away the key. 114 million, 70 was guaranteed. He's a Bronco for life, for life, for life. He's gonna be a Bronco for life, for life, for life. Miller is a Bronco for life, for life, for life. I'm a Bronco for life, a Bronco for life. He's a Bronco for life, for life, for life. He's gonna be a Bronco for life, for life, for life. Miller is a Bronco for life, for life, for life. I'm a Bronco for life, a Bronco for life. Honestly, I should've never doubted Johnny. He always get these mega deals finished at the last minute. Woo! He got that deal done with Ronnie. If Pat Bowlen was here, he would've told him if you got it, you should spend it. Spend it, cause Von Miller is worth it. And every single dollar in that contract, he deserves it. He earned it, yeah. We going back to back. Then after that, back to back to back to back to back to back. Lock 'em up, throw away the key. 6 more years with Von Miller, that's okay with me. Yeah. Lock 'em up, throw away the key. 114 million, 70 was guaranteed. He's a Bronco for life, for life, for life. He's gonna be a Bronco for life, for life, for life. Miller is a Bronco for life, for life, for life. I'm a Bronco for life, know, man, we gonna celebrate the good news. Von Miller, Bronco for life. Oh, man. We gotta celebrate training camp, man. We gotta celebrate Family Day. That cookout, we turning up. You already know. Bronco Gang Weekend is coming up real soon. Make sure you there. Shooting 4 videos, food, flag football, all that.